issue of storage at Port Shepstone?
Yes, Commissioners.
Now, question 2.3 inquired about specific security arrangements. You answered it together with 2.4, which required you to address how you manage the safety of the drugs.
Correct,
I'm at pages 13 and 14 of LS1. And if I understand, in response thereto, you stated paragraph 2 that you manage the safety of the drugs by taking the keys and placing them in your safe at the office, and requesting and instructing the unit commander to ensure members visit the offices at intervals as stated there.
Correct, Commissioners.
That's all you did?
Correct, Commissioners.
As a matter of interest, did you not consider it necessary to deploy further, or to at least instruct that they deploy further manpower or units to guard the offices, because now the safe contains this huge seizure? You didn't think it necessary at the time?
The directive I gave for the visit, at that stage for me, it was sufficient enough, unless if Colonel Prinsloo indicated that he needed additional, I would have done that, but there was at no stage where he requested additional manpower.
So you relied on Colonel Prinsloo to indicate whether or not there was sufficient security. And I ask this because you were present when they were stored. So I hear the point you make about Colonel Prinsloo. I'm asking about you, based on your experience. You considered it enough and sufficient?
It was enough and sufficient. And Commissioners, I want to say, you see, that's safe. And this is very much crucial. And the narrative that someone went there, opened with the key, and thereafter grind the safe, it is very much insane. Maybe for lack of a better word, please bear with me. Somebody without description will do that. If it is easy for you to open with a door, with the key, number one, why do you go and take such a high risk of cutting 2 holes on a steel that is 20 milliliter thick? You risk being arrested or being attacked by the police who might visit there. And also, during the night, the sound of a grinder, it makes a lot of noise. It will make a lot of noise because it is quiet during the night. I think that narrative, one is taking serious offense about it, because the keys were in my possession, but there was a narrative that was said before the commission that a key might have been utilized and then this thing was staged. There is no staging, Commissioners. Why am I saying this? In response to this question, I want to refer the Commissioners to the photos here of my bundle of documents. I can't recall. I'll show you. I want us to go to the pictures of the safe itself.
General, before we do so,
I think I've got the right to explain.
No, you do have the right. It's a question of at what point you exercise that right. We had agreed that we are now going to the storage of the drugs in Port Shepstone. The issues you are referencing arise after the storage. So I'm suggesting you park that issue. You will have every right to refer to your pictures, but at the appropriate time. Thank you.
But seeing that you've made the point about the noise, let me raise an issue I want to raise around that now. You are talking about noise and the fact that it would be noisy to use the grinder, but that applies to whether the door was open or not open. So I don't quite follow the point you are making about the noise.
The noise?
Yes. Noise made by the grinder, or yes, the use of the grinder.
Somebody.
I don't quite get the point.
somebody was grinding a gate, repairing a gate at my house.
No.
I'm trying to-
No. I am not querying the fact that a grinder or the use of a grinder would make noise. But what you say in saying that the idea about this having been staged and the door having been open and only cut afterwards, and you say, but the grinder would make a lot of noise, sort of suggesting that it would make a lot of noise if the grinder was used when the door was already opened. So what I'm saying is, to my mind, it makes no difference whether the door was open or closed or locked when the grinder was used. So I'm saying I don't quite follow your point about the noise. Do you get me now?
I get you, Commissioner.
Yes.
The
So
noise-
what is the point?
The point I'm trying to drive through is that there are several aspects, including the noise.
Let's just focus on the noise. Yes.
You know,
yes.
when you use a grinder,
Yes.
it will make a noise.
That I get.
And then that noise, if a person is using a key to open, is an easy thing. You go in, you take, you leave. Why you cut? And then why are you cutting the safe twice? When we come to that question, I will show the commissioners. The safe was cut twice. And the safe was cut from outside. That narrative is very much offensive to suggest that because the keys were in my possession, then a key was used and then thereafter the cutting. Hence, I'm trying to put this on record before the commissioners.
So
Thank you.
your point is that if you had the keys, could use them to open, why not just open and take the suspected cocaine without cutting? You just take the suspected cocaine, you leave.
Correct, Commissioner.
Without...
100%, Commissioner.
So I follow the point about yes, and about you supposedly, based on what you've just said, supposedly being the only suspect, if there was an underlying if there was any staging at all. That's not necessarily so. It's not necessarily that you would be the suspect, because the key was given to other people. It was not
Yes, Commissioner.
with you only, if you see what I mean.
I agree with
Yes,
you,
yes.
Commissioner, because someone came and signed for the key. But another thing that is significant, I saw a clip, evidence was provided here that the people who stole the drugs are known. I'm just concerned, why those people should have been arrested? Why are we always now talking about this theft thing, whereas somebody came here and say they are known? I will be happy if they are being arrested. I'll be happy. I will be able to sleep very tightly and say, at least I'm cleared.
Thank you,
Thank you,
General.
Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Then I want us to talk about the storage at Port Shepstone. And that will take care of question 2.3 and 2.7.
2.7.
2.7, both questions. It will take care, my next line of questions will take care of those two questions, okay?
Yes, Commissioner.
So I would like us to, you were present when they were being stored at the Port Shepstone offices. I would like to refer you to the national instruction at page 30. I think let's use page 83, CJC 230. CJC 230, starting at page 18. That would be the national instruction. And in particular, In particular, I would like to go to page 30.
30.
30. And I'm interested in paragraph 12.
Paragraph?
12, 1, 2.
Thank you.
I take it that you are familiar with what's set out in paragraph 12, and 12.1 provides that specialized units resorting under the Directorate of Priority Crime Investigations, DPCI, and the Division Forensic Services may, with the consent of the Divisional Commissioner or Head, DPCI, keep separate SAP 13 property registers to record exhibits. You are aware with that provision. You are aware of that provision.
As I indicated earlier, that some of the things I am aware, some I'm not, but this one, in terms of the permission and what I was not aware, I'm seeing it, and then I'm taking note of it, Commissioner.
I think you testified to it during your January appearance. I can take you there if you want me to, where you appeared to at least show an appreciation for that provision.
Commissioners, I think it was a question. There was a colonel who wrote a statement and quoted this national instruction in January. I was questioned about it. I responded. It's just that I can't recollect 100% how I responded to that question. But I'm seeing it now. I'm taking note of it.
Okay. On the second day of your testimony, at page 118, following engagement with Commissioner Baloyi, you state from line 12, for record purposes, I also want to say that the issue of storage there bring under your attention that in relation to the storage there, I think there is a national instruction that the DPCI, with the approval of the head, can store these things, can store the exhibits at a facility that is South African SANS, though written SONS. I think it is SONOS, and then you say South African National Standards. You recall that, saying that?
I never read that one, but if it is there on the transcript, if the way you read it, I think there is a national instruction, then I'm fine.
It will be projected soon, because it is important for me to know that you have that understanding. If you could just give me 2 seconds. We have found our place. You see where it indicates line 10 against the name Advocate Baloyi SC. Do you see where I am? If you look to the left of the page, there is the number 10, 10, against the name of Advocate Baloyi SC.
I see it, Commissioners.
What I was reading.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Law. Yes, Mr. Mbofu?
No, Chair, sorry, just for the record, it's not page 118, it's page 117.
Yes, we have corrected that. On the screen, it appears as 118, but it's paginated 117 on the actual transcript.
Thank you.
So the response that would then start at paragraph 12, line 12 rather, is what I read into the record as what you had stated. You see?
I see. I said, I think. Can I be allowed to read this?
Yes, please.
And I said, now I also want to say that the issue of the storage, they bring under your attention that in relation to the storage there, I think there is a national instruction. That is what I was thinking. There is a national instruction that says the DPCI, with the approval of the head, can store these things. You know, I didn't say with certainty, but I said I think there is. Now that you are showing and referring it to me, then I agree with you, this paragraph.
But you can't just have thought it out of the air. That thinking came from somewhere. You can't have just decided that you think that there is such a national instruction, only to find that in truth there is. It's information, I suggest, you previously had and you knew. That's why you responded. I interpret your words to say, I think, to indicate perhaps lack of certainty over something or other, but not that there is a national instruction that so provides. You might not recall its words in full detail, but you know it exists. The requirement that the DPCI had approved the storage.
Chairperson.
Yes, Mr. Mbofu.
No, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't know now what the witness is supposed to do. Is it being suggested that I think is the same thing as I know? Because that's what what is really just being said now. It can be.
If I may say, no, it's not being suggested. I am telling the general that he knew. The probability that he will say that I think there is a national instruction that so provides, and in truth exists, and relies simply on guesswork is simply zero. Yes, that's what I'm suggesting. So, if we then turn to the actual national instruction, yes.
Before you go there, General, do you remember that you sent a report to General Musikidi relating to this theft of the drugs?
Correct.
And there was an investigation at national level, and there was a report with a recommendation that certain people be charged. Are you aware of that report?
I saw that report through the commission. I was not aware.
But at the time when you testified in January, were you aware of that report?
I can't recall if it was part and parcel of the bundles, but I saw that report that was declassified somewhere in January. I saw it in these documents.
Because the reason I'm asking you this is that in that report, the general refers to the national instructions. So if you had seen that report before you testified,
I'm not 100% sure, Commissioner, if I've seen it before I testified. I'm not sure when was it provided to us, but with this statement of General Flame, that report is there.
okay.
But before, I don't recall seeing that report.
Sure?
Yeah, I can't say
Okay, let me leave it
with
there.
certainty, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I raise this mindful of I think what you had brought to the Commissioner's attention, that you know of many or maybe most of the prescripts, but you may not know them chapter and verse. You are not able to recite them, and I accept that. That's the caution you had put forward, correct?
My sense was that he knows some, not necessarily many or most.
You know some?
Some.
Yes.
Commissioner.
And I think he did reference national instructions. Would it be fair to assume that, considering the position you hold, you at least would familiarize yourself with all national instructions, particularly one as old as 2017? By 2021, you would have had sufficient time to familiarize yourself, or is that an unfair assumption?
It is an unfair assumption, Commissioners. For one reason, I can say Chapter 6, Section 17 of the South African Police Service Act, Section 17, subsection 22. Then I'm asking a lawyer, what does it say? A lawyer won't be able to tell. He must go and read it so that he can be able to tell. Hence, I'm saying, as a human being, you all know everything. I'm just making this example, Commissioners. With due respect, I'm just making this example that I won't be able to know everything, and I won't be able to read everything, because most of my job that I was doing, Commissioners, is to ensure that we reach our targets in terms of performance and go and account to the national office and prepare reports and everything as it is required at national office, and my people that are working with me, assisting me to prepare these reports. So
how do you hold those over whom you exercise oversight? How do you hold them to account?
We have a system that is called PIMA, Performance Impact Management Evaluation Report. And then every month, every section will do a presentation of their achievement. And then we check vis-a-vis the set target. And then if a target is not reached, I will advise the brigadier responsible and say, go back to your members, sit down with them, come up with what I was calling a turnaround plan, and depict action steps that we are going to take in order for us to achieve the targets. So that is my overseeing of the province to ensure that we are delivering the service to the people.
I guess part of the question, I get that, and indeed it does address the question of the exercise of oversight, but I think perhaps partly what I have in mind is what's your measure? What do you look against to see whether there is compliance? Because you can only exercise oversight if you are able to see that there is compliance. So that's what I have in mind.
Commissioner, it is expected at the unit level that the team leaders, as I explained the structure, the hierarchy, the team leaders must do 24-hour inspection. They can implement brought forward system. They must also inspect cases to and from court. They must also do a monthly inspections. And the provincial commander must do quarterly inspections in all the units. And then if there are shortcomings, they shall be reported to me so that I can monitor the compliance of those shortcomings that have been identified. I don't do inspections myself. That is how I'm overseeing these things. And it is a practice in the police.
Seeing that what's being raised here, for example, relates to the storage of exhibits in Port Shepstone, one could even raise an earlier issue about how they were intercepted from a container at the depot. So at all these stages, there are prescripts. If someone were to write a report to you about how those were observed or not observed, so if you basically say, some of these prescripts and not necessarily all or most, how would you be able to assess that, for example?
If someone writes a report,
yes, if for example a need arose for a report to be written to you about those issues,
the non-compliance.
Yes.
If a report comes, commissioners, highlighting non-compliance of prescripts, the person that is writing the report will depict the specific policy document. And then what I will do, I'm having a legal service section. I'll call them in and say, please go and read this thing for me, give me an interpretation, and then if it requires consequence management will be taken. And then further to that, when we pick up things that were not done correctly, what we did as the management, we will ask the legal services to go visit the offices and do presentations. Like, for example, we were having a lot of civil claims in terms of search and seizures. And then I said, prepare a presentation, let me have a look at it. Make sure you go and sensitize the members when they apply for search and seizure warrants that are being challenged, that give us a problem. Tell them what is it that they must look at, and also consult with the prosecutors if they are happy with the application, so that when it is challenged in court, we are able to respond to that positively, so that the actions must be admissible. in court by our own members. I have people that are doing those type of things for me when the reports arrive. I don't do them myself, Commissioner.